Willkommen zurück bei The Zodiac Trial. Nicht wundern, wenn ihr im Hintergrund Geräusche hört, das ist meine Katze, die spielt. Ja, sie spielt. So, im letzten Part haben wir eine neue Route angefangen, und zwar die Route, wo wir die Waffen einfach nur beschützen lassen. Und Tiger wurde auserkoren, der Beschützer sein. Danach sind wir mit Ochs durch die Gegend gelaufen und haben ein Safe gefunden im Auditorium. Yay! Und dieser Safe hatte dieses Rätsel. Wir müssen jetzt diese ganzen Hinweise durchgehen und die 4 herausfinden, die hilfreich sind, die wir brauchen, um auf die Lösung zu kommen von C7. Gucken wir mal. So, also wir haben schon mal, the letter is C. Also sind alle Letter-Sachen unwichtig. Das heißt, das ist unwichtig an sich. Obwohl. Okay, the number's odd ist unwichtig. Finde ich persönlich. The letter's position in the alphabet plus 4 is the number. Wir wissen C. The number is an 8 or 11, okay. The letter's position in the alphabet times 2 is a lower number than the number. The letter isn't a vowel. The number is less than 10. Okay. The letter's position in the alphabet times 2 is a lower number than the number. 7 und 3 sind das gleiche. Okay. The number is prime. Okay. Also was ich schätzen würde jetzt, ich würde sagen, okay, wir brauchen mal die 1 und die 9. Ich würde noch die 3 nehmen und die 2. Weil. Nee, warte, die 2. Die 3 und die 5 würde ich nehmen. Nee, warte. The last position alphabet plus 4 is the number. Was war die Frage nochmal? Mal kurz. Darf ich kurz mal da. Following the arrow, choose the numbers who certainly lead to me while all being useful. Use the numbers who certainly lead to me while all being useful. Okay. All being useful. Okay. 1 ist wichtig. Und 9 ist wichtig auf jeden Fall. Dann würde ich sagen. Fünf ist hilfreich. Und 8 ist hilfreich. Ich meine, ich könnte auch 2, 5, 2, 5, 9, 8 und 9 sagen. Aber wir brauchen noch eine 1 und 9. Ich sag mal 2, 5, 8 und 9. Weil 9 sagt den Buchstaben sofort. 2 sagt schon mal, dass es eine Zahl, die nicht 8 oder 11 ist. 5 sagt uns weniger als 10. Das heißt von 14 schon mal raus. Und die Numbers in Primzahl. Was könnten. Warte. Nee. 1. 0. Nee, wir nehmen 3. 5, 8 und 9. Die nehme ich jetzt. Well, here goes nothing. You know the answer. Maybe. That's not confidence inspiring. Just let me try. I started with the code. Oh, warte, was nochmal? 2, 5, 8 und 9. Okay. 2, 5, 8. 2, 5, 8, 9. 8, 9. Maybe it's this? Ah! I tried inputting the code, but the safe rejected my guess. And soft? Okay, erst vorher hinten gleich mal. Ox, I'm stuck. Nee, warte. Nee, ich krieg das hin. Aber die sind doch wichtig. Obwohl. Ja, warte, mir fällt gerade auf, ich habe die 2 gleich gebraucht. 3, 5, 8. Habe ich 2 gesagt? Frage, upsie. Warte. Ich habe, glaube ich, die falsche Nummer eingegeben von gerade auf. Ich wollte 3, nicht 2. Bei 2 probiert nichts. 3, 5, 8 und 9. Nein, nein, nein. Take es so. 3, 5, 8, 9. 5, 8, 9. Yes! Ich bin schlau! Ich bin clever! This has to be it. And put this code. And the safe opened. You did it. Ja, dankeschön. Okay, kurz mal gucken, was der Guess gewesen wäre. Ask for hint. Ox, I'm stuck. Help! I'm stuck too. If it wasn't, I have opened the safe for myself. Well, at least tell me how you're approaching it. As far as I can tell, the trick is to not give away too much or too little information early on. Some of the hints have to do with a letter, some have to do with a number, and some have to do with both. See what combinations of hints will give you either half of the location, as what amount of clues. And remember, there's only going to be one correct solution in the end. If 2 hints seem like they say the same thing in a certain context, you're likely either on the wrong track, or neither of those clues are used. Got it. Ich hab's schon gefunden dann. Okay, nochmal zurück. Ach, kann ich einfach weitermachen jetzt hier? Ah, warte. 3, 5, 8, 9. You did it. Yep. Looks like an escape room king is no match against a puzzle master such as myself. Yeah, whatever. Just see what's inside. I reached inside and grabbed another token. It was a familiar shape. A minor trinket. Great, so that wasn't a waste of time. Thank God. It would have sucked if it was something stupid like a gun or whatever. So, should we go bring this to Tiger? That's the plan, yes. And let's get going! The 2 of us left the auditorium and made our way down the stairs. Ich bin gerade so stolz auf mich selber. Just as we started to descend the stairs, I heard 3 gunshots, and after a pause, another one. What the hell was that? Quickly, get down to where Tiger is. Ox urged me to start running, and I was in no position to argue with him. A familiar sense of unease started to rise up in my chest. There was no way this was good. We started going down the hallway to the front entrance when I saw Bunny running towards it from the other side of the hallway. He must have also heard the shots. I rounded the bend and looked at the lobby, only to see a horrifying sight. Tiger! Dragon! Oh boy! Da sind 3 Schüsse. Okay. Also entweder Tiger versucht... Ne, warte. Entweder Dragon versucht, die Dinger an sich zu nehmen. Das heißt, Tiger hat sich gewehrt. Oder ist jetzt was ganz anderes passiert. The 2 of them were lying limply on the floor. Tiger was on his side near the office, with a metal pipe and a sniper rifle lying by his side. Dragon was face down on the other side of the lobby, with a bloody lamp right next to her. Ah! This was... No! Quickly, set their statuses. Snake piped up from behind me. When did he get here? Who cared? He was right. I went forwards and started checking on Tiger. As I got closer, I saw a bit of blood behind the hair on the back of her head. But it wasn't that bad. I had to believe in her. I got down and felt for a pulse. I was so worried I'd be met with an eerie silence. But to my relief, I felt something. Just as I confirmed she was alive, I heard her start to softly moan. She was definitely injured, but she wasn't killed or completely out for the count. On the other side of the room, Ox had been checking out Dragon. I looked over to him with hope, but when he met my eyes, he shook his head. Tiger might have survived, but Dragon wasn't so lucky. The race had seen its first casualty, and I began to feel sick to my stomach. After discovery, everyone eventually made their way to the scene of the crime. After all, gunshots weren't exactly something you could avoid. It was a huge chaotic mess, with people on the verge of tears and shouting at each other. However, cooler minds eventually prevailed. Ox reminded them that this would all be for nothing if the minor trinkets weren't found. And while people weren't happy about it, they realized he had a point. And so, Without clearing much up, the majority of the group returned to their search for items in this haunted school. The ones left behind were Ox, Tiger, Snake, Bunny, and myself. For my part, I mostly just stood there feeling sick the entire time. Luckily, I had kept myself from vomiting, but the urge was definitely there. Part of it was pathetic. I was supposed to be a criminal defense lawyer, and I couldn't even look at a dead body? But having it happen so suddenly, so close to someone you knew, and for the first time? It was just a lot at once. Still, I couldn't just stand there forever. Dragon didn't just die of a heart attack. She was murdered. If I did nothing, that would mean letting her murderer run free. And that wasn't something I was going to let happen. I stood up from the chair I had been sitting in and walked over to the group. This was a life or death race. I had to run. Hey, Mouse, are you alright? I'm fine, trust me. If anything, I should be asking you that. Tiger rubbed her eyes and gave a pained smile. A bit after everyone had arrived, Tiger had woken up. She was in a lot of pain, but it didn't seem like there were any serious injuries. The blow to the head just put her out of commission for a few minutes. You're talking about the hit to the back of my head? I'm fine. I've taken worse than this plenty of times. You have? Stop getting off topic. You sure you don't want to know who did it? I tell you what I told you 10 dozen times already. I thought there might be a minor trinket hidden in this nurse office over there, so I walked over to that front desk. I tried looking to see if there was anything, but it's not like I was abandoning my post. I was standing right there. Anyways, all of a sudden in the corner of my eye, I saw someone moving quickly at me from the hallway. I started to turn towards them, but before I could really make a move, I felt a blow to the back of my head, and that was that. They must have rushed at me with that metal pipe and knocked me out before I could even realize what was happening. I didn't ask for a recap. I asked who did it. If you saw them in the corner of your eye, you had to at least see some part of them. I didn't. Or maybe I did, but I don't remember it. Look, my head's still kind of messed up from the attack, you know. With an attack like that, it's not unreasonable that her memory would be hazy, especially at the point immediately before the hit. Oh, fine. I just want to know who did this. More importantly, what's the damage done? Obviously, besides Dragon. There isn't any. Huh? Tiger still has all the trinkets in the pocket, and even though the sniper was brought out and fired 4 times, all the weapons are present. Seriously? What a lucky break. Indeed. So what should we do now? It may be crass, but I might suggest nothing. What? Hear me out. I am perhaps more than anyone deeply wounded by Dragon's passing. She was a deeply spirited woman, and her impact on the group will not go unnoticed. I hope that the full extent of the law can come down on whoever killed her, and I am certain the police will be able to use forensic evidence to get an idea. However, as much as I am an idealist, I am equally a pragmatist. We mourn the dead for the living. Avenging her only does her as much good as it does us. And in a literal sense of speaking, this is that much of a setback. No trinkets were stolen, nor weapons. True, Tiger was caught off guard and attacked, but after this, I'm sure she'll be on high alert, facing the hallway, an unmoving warrior. Perhaps she can even proactively arm herself with a pistol. I see no reason why this horrid assault should disrupt our plans. Hence, we shall go back to searching for lifelines, the minor trinkets. Makes sense to me. Hold on. We can't let it happen. We can't? I don't want Tiger guarding the weapons anymore. In fact, I don't entirely feel comfortable with letting her walk free. What? I'll be blunt here. Tiger, I suspect you for the murder of Dragon. Well, this is certainly an interesting turn of events. Do go on. Leaving this lobby, there are 4 main routes you could take. After hearing the gunshots, Miles and I immediately started rushing down the staircase and got to this crime scene fairly quick. Bunny ran in from the classroom wing. Snake was running down the hallway that the staircase connected to. The last exit is through the commons. However, there are big windowed doors leading to those commons, and it's quite wide open. When I went down, I briefly checked the direction and didn't see anyone running away. To sum it up, there shouldn't have been anywhere for the criminal to escape. The killer also didn't take any weapons or trinkets, even though they are likely someone affected by Brian's third round rule change. With all that in mind, I think there's a reasonable explanation as to who the killer is. The person who didn't or couldn't leave the scene. That'd be Tiger.
That's totally ridiculous. You can't seriously be suspecting me. I'm a victim here.
A victim with a very fishy story. I can't imagine someone getting the jump on you like you claim they did. It's entirely possible you faked your injury to divert suspicion.
Seriously? Ox, you're suffering from a serious case of victim blaming right now. You're supposed to be a cop or whatever, right?
Prosecutor.
Well, then you should know you can't accuse someone without evidence. Where's your evidence, huh?
If you insist. Ox went over to Dragon's body. Take a look at that lamp. It is majorly bent, and Dragon's skull is practically caved in. That requires a feat of tremendous strength. The only people I think could easily pull this off would be Dragon, the victim, and Horse, who has an alibi in the form of sheep.
Psst, haven't you heard of the power of adrenaline? If a mother can lift a car to save a baby, a murderer can dent a lamp to kill someone. Shouldn't a cop like you know that?
Prosecutor. And yes, some extraordinary things can happen, but that's the exception, not the rule. I'll also point out that despite your testimony, Tiger, you were found unconscious on the other side of the lobby. How do you explain that?
I don't know. The killer must have moved me for some reason. That still doesn't prove anything.
I haven't even shown the most damning thing. He then picked up a form of a clipboard which was sitting on the counter. It appeared to be some sort of sign-out sheet for students. It had a few bloody flecks on it, and written in scrawled letters. Tiger is crass.
What's that?
I believe it was Dragon's last scribbles. After being injured, she hurriedly scribbled a message to us. She wasn't able to finish it, however, because she was finished off by a lamp.
No way, that can't be right.
Face it, Tiger. The evidence is stacked against you.
Clearly someone's trying to frame me. To waste your guys' time. Mouse, you believe me, right? Well...
Ich weiß es nicht. Ich weiß es nicht. Investigate ich gegen sie oder nicht? Ich würde sagen, ich investigate erstmal.
I'm sorry, Tiger, but I think we need to investigate and see if you're really the criminal. You don't trust me? I want to, but Ox has brought up good points. Fine, do whatever you want. I just hope the others can pick up the slack and find the trinkets while you for waste of time.
Very good.
Things were settled. While the others looked for minor trinkets, we investigate Dragon's murder. We all briefly went into separate rooms to input our actions for the next round, and then we returned to work.
Don't do anything funny, Tiger. You're strong, but I confiscated the sniper rifle, and there's 4 of us.
I'm not going to do anything. Investigating a crime scene. It's never a fun time. You do this often? I guess you would, being a police officer and all. Yeah. So as a cop, what do you think? I think I need to see more. But there are a few oddities in the scene that make me think Ox is being a little hasty. Let's try and look for anything that stands out of place if Tiger was the killer, and see what we can make of it. So, where to check first?
Ich glaube, die Untersuchung machen wir im nächsten Part. Denn das Ding war auch etwas, was nächstes Mal gemacht werden sollte. Denn es sind eine Menge Sachen und ich möchte gerne alle Details behalten. Von daher, bis nächstes Mal. Ich danke fürs Zugucken und tschüss.